You pore over your summoning circle yet another time. It needs to be perfect, absolutely perfect. Every candle precisely positioned, every rune flawlessly drawn, every binding in exactly the right place. It's easy enough to summon a succubus. Surviving the encounter, on the other hand, much less so. Of course, there are many who don't let that stop them in their hunt for the forbidden knowledge, or the supposedly mind-melting bliss the creatures can offer. You've lost count of the number of novices their kind has claimed. Those with the skill to do a summoning, but without the wisdom not to. And yet, here you are, about to make the same mistake. You sigh out and gaze over the plain surrounding your tower. You can see the baleful glow of the Hellgate shimmering in the distance. It's even visible during daytime now. You miss the peaceful days, back when demonic incursions only happened, when a cult went unnoticed for too long, back when the Orb of Nugan was still at full strength. You glance at the artifact, lying there on its pedestal. The pedestal that absorbs its magic, refines it, and sends it through the conduits of your tower and out into the world, where it powers the barrier that keeps the demons out. It was your greatest achievement, a triumph of magic, the stuff of legends, and it will not save you. You've protected the entire system with the strongest of enchantments, weaves that would take even you weeks to undo, and that will last long after you are gone. And they will not save you. The artifact itself is failing. The barrier grows weaker with every passing day, and the Hellgate grows ever closer to opening. And when it finally does, it will be the end. You've studied the problem for longer than you care to admit. Scoured every scroll you could get your hands on for even the slightest hint. And yet it was all useless. You know the demons are interfering with the artifact somehow, but you are no closer to finding out how than you were a year ago. And now you're out of time and out of options. You need new information, and the only place you haven't looked is in the hells themselves. You wouldn't be able to summon one of the demon princes, never mind interrogate one of them. No, the only feasible option left is to summon a succubus, a creature of temptation and lust. Heaving another deep sigh, you turn back to your summoning circle and focus on its center. You exert your will, and reality yields. Where there was once empty space, you now see black leathery wings folded around a figure, crouching in the center of your circle. There is no going back now. The wings unfurl, and a vision of pure loveliness rises gracefully from the floor.
How lovely to meet you, Mara.
He drawls huskily, looking over you with heavy-lidded eyes. He opens his arms invitingly, beckoning you into his embrace.
Come here, and let me make your wildest dreams come true.
His presence exerts an almost physical pull, and you very nearly take an inadvertent step forwards. You suddenly understand how his kind has lured so many to an untimely end. How many novices must have leapt right into his arms, messing up their carefully prepared summoning circle and sealing their own doom. But you are no mere novice. You are an arch-mage of the 9th circle. No errant step will set the abomination you've captured free. His shackles are anchored to your very will, and it is iron. Your bindings do not merely pin him in place, they seal away his magic and make it impossible for it to affect you. You are covered in layers and layers of protection spells. You could walk right up to him and touch him, and still be completely safe. You could even kiss him right on the mouth, and suffer no ill effects. You almost consider doing it, if only to see the look on his face when he fails to drain your soul. You won't, of course. There's no sense in tempting fate. You feel traces of magic brushing against your wards, and the tiniest furrow creases his perfect brow. And then, for the first time, he lifts his eyes and looks at you. Really looks at you. Your breath hitches in your throat, and it's like you're hit by lightning. His eyes are impossible. They remind you of stormy skies and foaming seas. They're captivating, hauntingly beautiful, and utterly bewitching. You're transfixed, skewered down to your very core, pinned in place like an insect on display. He cocks a single flawless eyebrow.
Well,
He says,
given all of your precautions, I take it this is business rather than pleasure.
He holds your gaze for a few heartbeats, which last several eternities. Then he chuckles and looks away, finally freeing you from his spell. You take a few moments to collect your wits, piecing your scattered thoughts back together, before putting on your best scowl and demanding that he tells you what is wrong with the artifact. You fully expect him to play coy and pretend that he doesn't know what you're talking about. But he frowns and looks at the floor, looking pensive. You find yourself watching him, looking him over. He's beautiful. So very beautiful. You don't know what you were expecting, but not this. He looks like an angel, not a demon. If it weren't for the bat-like wings and the tail, you would have sworn that you had made a mistake. And his eyes, gods above and below his eyes, what you wouldn't give to. No, he is a demon. One of the Infernal Legions. He would suck out your soul if you'd give him half the chance. He would happily throw the Hellgate wide open the way for his brethren, and condemn every man, woman, and child in the kingdom to a gruesome death, or worse. He is evil, irredeemably, unmistakably evil. And yet, he doesn't look evil. He looks innocent. Almost angelic, even. Your gaze roams over his face, pulled towards his impossible, mesmerizing eyes. His eyes are fascinating. Even now, gazing at them while he gazes at the floor, you can't tell what color they actually are. His eyes, they suddenly snap up, locking onto yours, and another lightning bolt slams into you, electrifying your spine and blanking out your mind. You hastily look away, but you're still left reeling. After a few seconds, it dawns on you that he asked you a question.
If I tell you, will you let me go? Will you send me back home?
You stammer out an affirmative, and he aims his gaze at the floor again, becoming silent and pensive once more, mulling things over, as if he actually has a choice here. It doesn't take long before you find yourself drawn towards his eyes again. You can't help it. They're a mystery, an enigma, a puzzle you're desperate to figure out. But as soon as you look into his eyes, they flick up and meet yours, before you can manage to look away. It happens again and again. Sometimes he asks you a question. Sometimes he simply makes eye contact for a moment before looking away again. But every time you look at his face, he meets your eyes, and every time he does, it's like another punch to the gut. Your breath leaves your lungs, and your mind goes blank. You know you shouldn't keep seeking out his eyes, that he'll turn them on you as soon as you give him the chance, but you just can't help it. You keep seeking out his eyes, and like clockwork, he skewers you with his gaze before turning towards the floor again. He is doing it on purpose, looking away, drawing you in, and then blasting you with the full force of his impossible gaze. He is toying with you. He knows what his eyes do to you. It's all a game to him. Enough. You are an arch-mage of the Ninth Circle. Your will is iron. You will not be cowed by some two-bit temptress from the hells. You stare at him defiantly, and he lazily locks his eyes onto yours. Your bowels turn to water, and you rush to look away. He laughs, a beautiful tinkling sound that only doubles your humiliation. Your face is hot, and your ears are burning. How? How is he doing this to you? His magic is sealed. Whatever. So what if you can't quite deal with how absolutely stunning he is? He's the one that's trapped. You're the one with power here. It seems like you will have to remind him of that.
Fine.
He says, his voice intruding into your thoughts.
I'll tell you what's wrong with your artifact. Not how to fix it, but what we've done to it. And in return, you'll let me go. Deal?
It's a deal, you say, and he smirks triumphantly. You instantly realize your mistake. Any deal with a demon is a taint upon your soul. It barely even bothers you. This isn't the first sacrifice you've made to keep your world safe, nor is it the worst. And heaven knows it won't be the last. You give him a nod, acknowledging his small victory, and he flashes you a lightning-quick smile in return. You feel his dazzling eyes on yours, drilling into you. But you know better than to meet them. He smiles again, then launches into his explanation. He talks about the artifact, about dreams in the veil between worlds, about magic that can influence dreams and using it to affect the real world. He seems excited about it. His tail keeps waving in the air as he talks. It's kind of adorable, really. You wonder if he even realizes he's doing it. He keeps talking, and it hits you how lovely his voice is. There's something about it that makes you think of silk brushing against your brain. You don't understand everything he's saying, or even much of it, but something about his words feel right, in a way that nothing else you tried or considered ever did. You're finally on the right track. His tail keeps moving, and you watch it, your eyes following the little spade at the end as it waves back and forth, back and forth. The infernal magic he's describing is alien and unfamiliar. It's hard to follow, hard to wrap your head around. Your head feels funny, strangely fuzzy and floaty, and your body is heavy and languid. The summoning must have taken more from you than you realized. You try to focus on what he's saying, to understand, But his words are like smoke. They keep washing over you, but you don't grasp them. They don't resolve into meaning. It's like he's speaking a different language. His voice is still so very pleasant to listen to. And his tail keeps waving in the air, idly, lazily, sweeping back and forth. Back and forth. You are tired, exhausted. You've been working so hard for so long, but you're finally on the right track. You can finally relax. You can finally rest. You are so tired. You close your eyes for just barely a second. There's a hand on your cheek, gently caressing you. It's soft and warm and feels so very. His hand. You're in the circle. When did you? There's a pressure under your chin. Your head tilts and his eyes are suddenly right in front of you. Your heart stops. His eyes. You have to look away. You need to look away. But something pins you in place. His eyes. Your mind comes apart. His eyes are so beautiful. You thought they were spectacular before, but now you're seeing them from this close. You have no words. They are so fascinating, more intricate, more compelling, more complex than the most complicated spell. They are so many different hues and shades of color, and they have such depth. They're depthless, bottomless. You fall into his eyes, deeper and deeper. They're marvelous, truly marvelous. And the longer you keep gazing into them, the more it seems like they're changing. Like new colors are emerging and shifting and fading. Like there's a slow, subtle rolling ripple of color unfolding right in front of you. Maybe it's just a figment of your imagination. You don't know. You don't care. You simply seek deeper and deeper and deeper into his eyes, into his bottomless, multicolored eyes, into his rippling and shifting and swirling eyes. You have no idea how long you stand there, simply drowning in his eyes as his words pour into your soul. It's both forever and not nearly long enough. You feel so very good. But there is something that's keeping you from feeling even better. Some spells you cast earlier, words that felt like a good idea then, but which feel cloying and stifling now. You dismiss them without a second thought, and a wave of bliss washes over you. An unfamiliar magic wrapping you up and taking hold of your mind, but which feels so very good. But which feels so good. You sigh happily as your mind slips away even more. Soft, velvety lips join with yours, and a wonderful warmth spreads throughout your entire body. You didn't think it was possible to feel even better still, but you do. Your eyes flutter. You want to close them and just let yourself sink into this moment. But those impossible eyes in front of you widen, and yours respond in kind. Kaleidoscoping colors ensnare your mind and send it spiraling into the sweetest oblivion You are lost. Lost in his eyes. Lost in the bliss. Lost in him. His kisses feel like fire, and it feels glorious. You are on fire. Your very soul is burning, and you've never felt better. There's the sound of a snap, and something inside you breaks. His eyes swallow you whole, and your mind whites out. You awaken as if from the strangest dream. You open your eyes and see your boyfriend sitting there on the sofa. He's knitting, his perfect eyebrows furrowed in concentration. Gods, but he's beautiful. The soothing, repetitive motion of his delicate fingers is captivating, and you watch him for a moment, musing how lucky you are to have him, how lucky you are to be his. As if he feels your gaze on him, his eyes flick up and meet yours, and your heart skips a beat. You would do anything for those eyes. Those depthless, storm-colored eyes. He smiles and gets up from the couch, greeting you warmly and giving you a brief peck on the lips. And once again, you realize how lucky you are to be his. You walk over to the artifact. It still feels a bit weird at times to be painstakingly teasing apart the wards you've spent so many years putting together. But you remember him asking you to do it. You recall turning towards him and opening your mouth to tell him that you couldn't, that the artifact was all that was keeping the demons out, that lifting it from its pedestal would let the infernal legions come pouring in. It sounds so ridiculous now. You think of the way he nailed you with those impossible eyes of his, and the brilliant smile he gave you when you said yes. You don't know why you're undoing the wards, but you don't have to. It's enough to know that he asked you to do it. You would do anything for him, anything for his eyes and his smile. You would see the world burn, and gladly, if it would only earn you another smile like that. Not that it will come to that. You unravel a few more threads of magic. You're almost done. It's taken you weeks, but you're almost done. You smile fondly. What an amazing time it has been. You think of all those times your boyfriend would let you rest your head in his lap, whispering sweet nothings in your ears until you fell asleep. You recall his almost childish delight as he discovered something new, those many hours spent playing castles well into the night, and his wicked, wicked sense of humor. It's been absolutely wonderful. Why are you reminiscing like this? Like the world is about to end? Your brain can be so weird sometimes. There were even times you got the ridiculous notion into your head that you should be strengthening the artifact's wards, not weakening them. It's a good thing your boyfriend was always there for you. You loved the way he'd cup your face in his hands, look deeply into your eyes, and bring you back to your senses whenever you got confused. You don't recall much of what he said. It was kind of hard to think straight when you were looking into those incredible eyes of his. Hells, it still is. But you're not confused anymore now. You know exactly what you must do, and you know you love him with all your heart. And more than anything in the world, you haven't doubted that, not even for a second. The last binding on the artifact comes undone. The protective magic is still there, hanging on by a thread, like a house of cards poised to come crumbling down. But for the first time in decades, the artifact itself is unprotected. You put your hand on the orb that has taken up so much of your time and attention and breathe a sigh of relief. At last you can pick it up and give it to him. At last, you will get to see that dazzling smile again. And yet, you hesitate. You can't shake the feeling that something is terribly, terribly wrong. Like you're on the precipice of making a horrible, irreversible mistake. Your boyfriend nuzzles up to you, gliding his hand along your arm until it comes to rest on your hand. You breathe in the intoxicating scent of his perfume, and your concerns fade away. You feel his chest pushing into your back, his hot breath blowing against the sensitive skin of your neck, and you sigh happily. He's really grown a lot more affectionate lately. A wide grin breaks out on your face. You are content, truly happy. You try to lift the artifact, but he pins your hand in place.
On second thought,
He murmurs.
I think I'd rather keep you all to myself.
A burst of powerful, unfamiliar magic passes through your hand, and something in the artifact shifts in response, something crooked becoming straight. A heartbeat later, its power surges, radiating magic with a strength you never felt before. Your wards slam back into place, and the baleful glare of the Hellgate winks out in an instant. You turn to look at him, completely befuddled. Enormous bat-like wings unfurl from his back, and his dazzling eyes capture yours, a mischievous twinkle dancing in their entrancing depths. It feels like you finally awaken from the longest dream. The succubus. The succubus. You tense up, waiting for the other shoe to drop. But he simply flashes you a brittle smile and presses himself against you. There's something vulnerable about him, something fragile, and it breaks your heart. Gods, but you love him, succubus or not, having tricked you or not, you love him. He leans into you, his soft lips drawing you into a tender kiss, and you return it, hesitant at first, and then eagerly. You are happy, impossibly happy. You summoned a succubus and saved the world. But best of all, you found the love of your life.